You're right. Ideals can be adapted. Ideals can be adapted. But I'm not talking about ideals. I'm not discussing ideals because ideals can change. They can be adapted. I'm talking about rooted principles of life. Like for example, the seed time and harvest, that is a principle of life. If you don't abide by that, you can't plant a seed for a tree to grow, or you can't make a tree without planting an acorn in the ground. Like, how does a tree come by without planting an acorn, waiting a certain extent of time, pouring water on the seed, giving it the correct soil? Or you don't even necessarily need those things, but seed time and harvest, you can't just make a tree out of nowhere with no acorn or no time. That is how principles work. That is a principle, that is a law of nature. The same thing happens because there's two creations. There are still laws, there are still principles of life. Not ideals. I'm not talking about ideals. I'm talking about principles of life. Seed time and harvest applies to life. It applies to life as well. We have to save up our money. If we want to be a millionaire one day, we save up and we invest our money. We wait for the time to allow that to reap up, to go up, to go up, to go up, and the money finally curves up, and at one point in life, you reap the harvest, and you had the big sum of money that you sat out to achieve because you invested and you waited that time. You had to plant the seed, you had to water the seed, and wait the extent of time, and then the harvest came. Same as the egg and the chicken. Exactly. And principles of life work the same way, man. That's how they work. And so I want to, when I do these VIP times, I don't want to share with you guys inspiration. I don't want to motivate you guys. I don't want to give you guys something that I feel is a good idea or an ideal. I don't want to share that crap with you. I want to share strong, heartfelt, and I do research. And guys, you would not understand how much time goes into this process before I do this on the live stream, because I want to make sure that what I'm saying is dead on correct with you guys. I don't want to just say stuff. Like, I want to make sure it's a principle. I want to make sure that it's rooted and it's grounded and it's tested and it's been done before. That's what I'm sharing with you guys, are these principles that have been done and they are proven to work in order to get you to your fullest life. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to show ideas and fancy things, man. It's not what it's about, because ideals can be adapted, just like Sir Daisalot says. I research, I read books, I study, like, I meditate on these things. I make sure that they're authentic, man. I don't want to give you guys ideals. There's a lot of people on YouTube and online that give you good advice, and they tell you things that you like to hear, and they tell you things that sound good, and they motivate you, and they get you going, and they fire you up, but they're not rooted in anything. You see all these people on Instagram and Facebook, and they're like, oh, that's why you got to get a good girl, because the bad girls are like, they'll leave you, man. They won't stay with you. And it's all this stuff, and it sounds good because our younger generation is invested in that. And they're like, oh, yeah, he's so right. Let's throw a like at him. Let's throw this guy up. But, like, it was literally just a bunch of rubbish. Like, it wasn't anything meaningful, you know? It fired him up. Sure, it gave him a good feeling. Sure, it may not even have been that incorrect. But it's not a deep down rooted principle behind it. There's nothing under it. It has no foundation. And a house without a foundation, when the wind blows, that house is going to go crashing, you know? So I make sure to give you guys the correct information, you know? I don't know why I went on that speech. I didn't really have to. Because like I said, you can agree or disagree sometimes with what I have to say, because I promise you're not going to agree with everything I have to say. And that's why I spoke one day on being undefendable. Because if you get offended by one thing I say and then you leave the stream and you never come back, you could be missing valuable advice that can help you still live your fullest life. So don't let that offense harm you so much to the point that you leave and never come back. And you drink poison expecting it to kill the other person. It's pointless. It's just going to hurt you more, you know? So, no, social media isn't a bad thing. Social media is a blessing, man. People use it for the wrong reasons. People use it for the right reasons. That's like the whole gun controversy. People think it's either the person or the gun. People want to ban guns, in America at least. People want to ban guns. People want to keep guns. They say it's the person behind the gun. Some people say it is the guns. It's just up in the air. That's just a political argument. And I'm not here to discuss political arguments because I'm not here to take sides. I'm here to create a culture and invest into you guys to create a culture so big that we take over so we don't have to take sides. Because it's not about what's right or wrong or left or right or I said left wing, right wing, socioeconomic side, higher class, lower class, Democrat, Republican. Like, it's not about those things. We're not here to take sides. We're not here to take sides. We're here to live our fullest lives, and that doesn't require taking sides. You can take sides on political arguments all you want, but that's not going to do anything. I'm not here to talk about politics. Like, I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm here to talk about living your fullest lives. I don't pay attention. I'm not, honestly, with politics, man, this is my stance, is there's so much stuff politically that because I'm not all the way invested in it, there's stuff from this news channel, someone says it this way, someone says it that way, that honestly, there's so much stuff going on around us that, like, I feel like it all just goes over my head. Because there's so much stuff, you can't tell what's right or what's wrong or what's this or what's that. And most of the stuff just, we probably don't even know 90% of the things that are really going on, you know. And then media mixes it up, and then this channel puts it this way, and then there's all the bias, like, and then there's all these people giving their stances on things that aren't even experts in what they're talking about. And then you're just like, well, okay, I don't know what to believe. So I'm not here to talk about politics, man.